Hi guys. Hi guys, welcome in. Welcome back. Should I call it? We had a kind of a quick, like a break since I was last live. This is a little bit loud. Hi. Oh, who was that? I missed who that was. Hi, Ava. Nico, hi. What are we doing? We're just chilling. Just hanging out. It's been a day. And I haven't been live. Like, I went live this afternoon for the first time in like a week. So I just feel like I'm like behind, you know? Watching the tour on Disney Plus. Yay, that's so exciting. I've watched it almost every day so far this weekend. I did not get to go to the game, no. I was kind of dumb the way that I just like didn't. So at first, tickets to the game were just open to season ticket holders, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm not a season ticket holder. So I was like, all right. But then I just like forgot to circle back when they went on sale to like general. Yeah, and time got away from me. The games are sold out when you buy on like the website, but they're available on SeatGeek, I think. Kylie's Irish step dancing, that's cute. She's adorable. It was such a fun game. Yay! I'm so glad you had fun. It was fun to watch. I'm sure it was fun to be there. I forgot to plug my phone in, so we might just be going off a gamble. I don't know what my battery's at anymore. Whoops. Hi, Laura. Hi, Brooke. How are you guys? When do we think we're going to see Taylor next? Is my question. When do we think we're going to see Taylor next? I was hoping we'd see her this weekend. Yeah, I was hoping we'd see her tonight. But I'm guessing it's going to be a no. Did something else happen with L'Jarius Sneed? I just saw someone say the Sneed situation is crazy. Last I heard is it was just sort of like up in the air with what was going on. Oh, thank you so much. Your little Taylor Tot is the cutest. Thank you. Yeah, good win today. I heard that they were in LA, but I know I asked someone about the Sneed situation and then like got distracted, but like last I saw, let me see. Yeah, so last I heard about Sneed is that it was just like still up in the air. No one had come to anything final yet. And part of it was due to his price. Oh, wait. Titans are no longer in the market for L'Jarius Sneed. So it's basically down to the Colts. Right. New Heights Reddit, Travis was filming today. That's awesome. So yeah, different Colts sources. One person says Sneed is going to the Colts. The other person says that there's no deal and they think he'll go to the Chiefs. So I do touch on the royal family on my subscribers. There's a reason I don't touch on it on my main page. So I'm sorry, it's not something I'm willing to talk about in here. Townhouse Media. I don't know what that is. Doesn't he usually film New Heights on Mondays? Listen, what they used to do, what they've done in previous seasons of New Heights is they haven't even done weekly, like, new episodes over the summer. They reposted old episodes and videos and stuff. And so them even doing new episodes weekly is brand new for them over the summer. So, yeah, I'm sure they're pre-filming a lot of stuff, right? You know what I mean? Like, they're on vacay. Yeah, now it's changing. So, I am a Love is Blind watcher. I haven't finished watching the reunion yet. So please, no spoilers, because I literally just started watching it tonight. After I get off this live, actually, my plan is to take a garden gummy and go watch in bed with my husband the reunion of Love is Blind. I'm very excited about that, actually. Very, like, that's my kind of fun Saturday night. My thoughts on the weddings. Really disappointed in Clay, right? That was his name, Clay, I think, AD's. Still on the fence about Chelsea and Jimmy. I think that Chelsea was kind of a victim of some bad editing there too. And I've heard that Jimmy was very unaffectionate off camera. So I don't know. Basically what I'm saying is I have no idea. Hi, Bree. Thank you. What was I saying about New Heights? I think this is what I was saying. So, this summer they're doing new weekly episodes, they said. This is the first summer they've done that. Last year they had off on the summer. They just reposted interviews and stuff from previous episodes. So someone had mentioned that they had filmed New Heights today. And that was strange. And I agree that's not to their normal filming schedule. However, to be fair, they don't have a normal filming summer schedule. You know what I'm saying? So, that's not entirely indicative of, like, him having someplace to be. You know what I mean? It might just mean that they're trying to set time aside to, like, relax and not work. You know what I mean? I don't know. Thank you guys for the gifts and stuff. That's super nice. Yeah, that's right, Hops. If there was a guest, they, like, could have filmed around their schedule. And if they're also, like, if Travis was using a studio in LA, that might have some sort of schedule affecting it as well. So there's just, like, a lot of moving pieces. They said they saw him after he filmed on Reddit. Yeah, that's awesome. I would, and, like, honestly, if I did that podcast, I would film, why not film a bunch of stuff in advance? You know what I mean? At least the ad placements, you could film a bunch of those in advance, because that's just, like, you know what I mean? That chunk of things that you don't have to continue to do. Some sort of vacation, yeah, I do. But I don't know if we'll know about it, you know what I mean? I do think they'll go on some sort of vacation. But it might also just be, like, staying in Taylor's, you know what I mean, one of her homes in Nashville or something, in, like, a little staycation there. Thank you so much, Amber. They do deserve a vacation. They definitely do. They definitely do. They're probably sick of flying. Maybe. Maybe. But I think it's also part of life when you're that level. You know what I mean? Yeah, people said that they were at a gym today. Yeah. I haven't seen the video of Kylie Irish dancing, but I heard someone earlier mentioned it. That's cute. She's adorable. Right. It's like, it's harder to get sick of flying when you have like nice sized seats in a private jet, for sure, right? Like, I always think too, like, what do I hate about flying? Like, it's the inconveniences that I hate about flying. I hate to be like uncomfortable. I hate not being able to recline my seat. Just like, if you could recline your seat without imposing on another person comfortably, like, don't you think that would like vastly improve your flight? It's like not getting to eat when I want, or feeling like I can't get up and go to the bathroom, and like all of those things don't apply, you know what I mean, when you're flying private. So I just think also they must not hate it as much, you know what I mean? Hi, Kate. Do you think more Eras tour dates will be announced? I think it's a possibility. At the same time, the Eras tour has to end. So if there's more Eras tour dates announced, I think it's going to be like 2 or 3 nights. Just like final shows. I think it's like people are just like having a really hard time accepting that they might not see this tour. And I think that just like as Swifties in general, we have to realize that like she has a lot more fans now. A lot more fans now than we're used to, and the Eras tour brought even more fans on, and Taylor's been touring a really long time. By the end of this year, it'll be 2 full years basically that she's been on tour, you know? So it's hard to continue to ask more of her, you know? It just seems like a lot. The price range before, like in the pre-sale, were very affordable. The price range was like, what, $100, and then the most expensive was $450. That's not including VIP packages. VIP packages added on to the prices, but the most expensive face value ticket was $450, and that was like floor row 1. Yeah, the problem is the resale, like everything after that has nothing to do with Taylor. Ticketmaster let a bunch of bots in and bought up a bunch of tickets, and now they're reselling for a crazy amount of money. It's really a shame. The way that she did it during Reputation should have been replicated. Sorry, maybe that seems gatekeepy, but in my opinion, it was the best way to keep out bots. So the way she did it during Reputation is like, you got an account, right? And you got like boosted points for doing things on the account, like watching the music video, or like tweeting about the tour, or if you bought merch, you would get boosted. And so like, it was a way to ensure that like real fans actually bought the tickets first, right? Because we were the only ones that were like actually watching the video, actually doing the work, actually doing, actively buying merch and like being involved in the community. And so like all of those things boosted our place in line. My Rep Tour tickets took me like 10 minutes to buy. I was in and out, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's everything. Everyone's being very capitalist over it, for sure. It's not just the ticket prices, hotels, transportation. You're absolutely right. Would have been mad if I missed because you didn't have enough points. So it wasn't like a point system. It was just like you got boosted in line if you watched this music video, and most of the options were free. They did have merch on there too, and they had merch on the Eras Tour boosted line sales too. But you could do most of it for free, and it was like if you're a fan and you miss that stuff, like, then that you're just not the target audience for that. That's okay. But for a lot of us who were like literally watching, waiting, and like waiting on any news to get to go, that was our way to like get ahead of the bots for once. Yeah, and it worked. The rep tour was super affordable the whole time because people bought tickets, not bots. Yeah, booking promoters, totally. I just wish they would have been able to do that again. But now that Live Nation and Ticketmaster has such like a monopoly on the situation, nothing's going to change until that stops. I mean, if you don't like that system, you just don't like that system. But like, if like, could bots hack it? Absolutely. But like, you also build technology to stop that from happening too. Like, it goes all the ways around. Some people don't like it. It's fine. Like I said, there were those of us who were like watching every single thing and taking every single thing in, waiting for those tickets to drop. And like, that was our way of like, we finally beat the bots. Those people like that were doing that same thing got screwed over by Ticketmaster. Like, had they had something like that, those real fans would have had a chance to go. And that I'm like having a really hard time like reconciling that. Like, they deserve to go. Yeah, there's always going to be a backdoor for bots, but like, you just, yeah, you have to do what you can. It should be illegal to sell over face value, for sure. It should just be like how they have it in Europe. Like, once you just like can't transfer them. If you do it, it disappears. The good old days. I know, right? Yeah, it's not even just price gauging, honestly. It's being super advantageous, and it's a class thing too, in my opinion. Like, there's a very small subset of people who can afford to buy that many tickets. So of course they are, and they're just making money hand over fist. If I, as a fan, could afford to buy a block of 20 tickets and resell them at face value to other fans, I would have absolutely done that. But like, one, the system stopped me from doing it, and two, I don't have that much money. You know what I mean? But yeah, someone just said, I don't like how people say you like the Chiefs because of Taylor Swift. That's just misogyny, babes. They'd never say that to a man. So it's life. But also, my screen name says JoJo and KC. Think smarter, not harder. You know what I mean? Yeah, right? No bots at the box office, for sure. But see, then people complain about that too because they have to travel. You know what I mean? There's just like no one size fits all situation. Yeah. Chiefs fans for 13 years. And people, like, I have, like I say in the beginning of all my videos, like, hi Swifties. And like my football for Swifties videos, I say hi Swifties, hi Chiefs fans. But for some reason, the only thing some people hear is Swifties. And I will often have people say, not a Swiftie. And I'm like, well, my name is Swiftie and KC. So like, please just, you know what I mean? Like, you are not my audience, sir. Scroll on, friend. Yeah, even at the box office. And there's just like an added layer of the box office thing too, because they did do physical box office Rio maybe, and a bunch of resellers swooped up and cut everyone in line and bought a bunch of tickets. And it was like a dangerous situation. They brought weapons, right? It was not good. Yay, you got Miami tickets. That's so exciting. I read the owners is thinking about moving the team. Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. That headline was very misleading for a reason. So what they're talking about is the owners of the Chiefs talking about, the headline read the Chiefs were talking about moving out of Kansas City. Now, what a lot of people say, they hear that and think, oh my God, like going where? To St. Louis? To Des Moines, Iowa? Like where are they going? That's not what they're talking about. What they're talking about is moving the stadium outside of city limits to like Blue Springs, Missouri, right outside of Kansas City. They're talking about moving it to, I don't know, Parkville, right outside of Kansas City. It's just like right outside of city limits. So it's still the Kansas City Chiefs, but the stadium is in a different like county and city for like taxing purposes. I hated the way that they phrased that article because it was so clickbaity on purpose. Kansas City is going through, we're talking about moving our stadiums and like upgrading Arrowhead and moving the Royal Stadium. So it's already this sort of like discourse going around town here that gets people pretty riled up. So they knew what they were doing with that. They for sure knew what they were doing. Like the Dallas Cowboys play in Arlington. 100% that's it. Yes. Like the Dallas Cowboys play in Arlington. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's talk about it. Moving the Chiefs Stadium. So I am, I'm very pro moving the stadiums. I lived in Denver for 10 years and, say what you will about any of Denver's sports stadiums, but Ball Arena and Mile High Stadium were both very accessible by Uber, by public transport, walkability, very, very accessible. Arrowhead is none of those things. Traffic getting into Arrowhead was so bad during a Garth Brooks concert one time that people were in traffic for 5 hours in the line to get inside. That sucks. That super sucks. And that's straight up just infrastructure. The stadium is about 15 minutes away drive from downtown. You can't walk to any restaurants or bars from the stadium. It is about 15 to 20 minutes in the opposite direction from the airport. So if you're coming in town for a Chiefs game and you want to go to downtown Kansas City, you would have to drive in either direction. Yeah, almost like a triangle. None of those things are near each other. In my opinion, having a tailgate isn't... We're doing our city a disservice by not having restaurants, bars, shopping downtown that you can literally walk to. That's how you boost city economy. You have to boost tourism in your city. Like, things have to be publicly accessible. It's not accessible for people who don't have the money to drive their own car out there, who don't have a car to drive out there. It's not accessible for disabled people. It's not accessible for large groups of folks. It's not accessible for out-of-town folks. The only people it's accessible for right now are people who live in Kansas City or can afford to drive their own vehicle into Kansas City. Accessibility is super important, right? And it trumps everything. It trumps everything. It needs to be accessible for the people who are paying for it. And so currently there is a large group of people in Jackson County who are paying for that stadium but can't go there. And that sucks. So in my opinion, yeah, I'm very pro moving the stadiums to downtown Kansas City because it's way more accessible. Parking lot issues resolve themselves with a bar restaurant district nearby, 120%. There's enough. People in Kansas City raise a big stink about things getting so busy and overwhelming, but Kansas City is such an empty city 99% of the time. There's not that much traffic. Traffic by Kansas City standards is just not traffic that other cities are used to, and that's great. That's phenomenal. We love that for us. But it's also okay if things get a little busier. You know what I mean? The world won't end. We'll just be a little bit busier sometimes in downtown. It's still not going to be the end of the world, you know? Yeah, you have to make things accessible for tourists to go to, and you have to entice them. And like, right now you go to Arrowhead Stadium, and if you don't eat in Arrowhead Stadium after you get out, say you go to a Monday night football game, after you get out of Arrowhead and you leave the stadium at like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, the only thing that you can go to around Arrowhead is a Taco Bell off the side of the highway. You have to drive there. You can't walk there. It's not walkable. It's not safe. You can't walk there. It's a Taco Bell. Otherwise, you have to basically like drive back into the city until you get to anything. It's off a highway. It's not safe. And people have a lot of like nostalgia involved with Arrowhead, and I totally get it, but I also don't think nostalgia is enough to like stunt the growth of our city. And I feel like our city could grow a whole lot and just like really boom. Just like like having a walkable city is so important. So important. Yeah, I think new things are exciting too. I do like so they also proposed just like changes to Arrowhead too, which I love. Yeah, how in the middle of nothing Arrowhead is located. Yeah, it's a concrete wasteland out there, truly. It's just like off a highway. There's not really anything. And even like, I'm just surprised that I'm not really surprised. It's because it sucks the taxes out of everybody living around it. And so there's not much money to invest into other infrastructure there because it literally all goes to the stadium. It's like this double-edged sword. So, like, in my opinion, if they're not willing to move it downtown, then they need to invest the exact same amount of money they'd be willing to put on building a new stadium into building up the infrastructure around Arrowhead, you know? Public transportation needs to be more accessible getting there. You shouldn't have to walk a mile or 3 miles to get in from the gates. There should be, like, a rideshare option. My favorite barbecue place in Kansas City is Joe's. Yeah, Joe's Kansas City is the best, especially for burnt ends. Is Kansas City weather conducive to making a walkable city? Yes, it absolutely is, especially in, I mean, like, just think of it this way. It's no worse than Chicago. I would say Chicago is much less weather conducive to walkability than Kansas City, actually. Just because it's a little more temperamental being like right off the lake. Yeah. Yeah, the rideshare updates are part of the new plan. And I did like that. I liked a lot of pieces of the new plan. So like if they don't, you know what I mean? Like that's great. I just wish it was more accessible for people. Yeah. Even as it stands, like, if you drive your car to Arrowhead, the chances of you having to park out in the boondocks and, like, take a 1.5-mile trek after the game is really, really high. So, like, the amount of people that are able to go and enjoy it are just really low. You know? Like, that sucks. Yeah, that sucks. And it's like it's not accessible at all for like handicap. It's just not. Because there's also like there's not much like actual concrete parking. It turns into gravel very quickly. Yeah, it's just not. Yeah, I hate it. The Kansas City Current did play well today. I loved it so much. I loved it so much. It was so fun to watch. Agree about the updates and food around the stadium. Yeah, I know. I feel like it's just one of those things that like comes with being like downtown. Or in just like a district of some kind, you know? I think one of the coolest things about being in Denver was that like after the Rockies game, there was like a brewery, a local like burger place, like the Cherry Cricket was right across. Like there was a bar district you could just walk to, and like that's what people did after the games. Before, during, and after the games. It was like busy and fun, and yeah, it was just fun. I loved that. Do you think Taylor will tour Tortured Poets Department? That's a really good question. I don't know what she's going to do. I think it's really hard to predict that at this point because we don't even know if she does plan to change or tweak the set list to add it on the Eras Tour. Because it does feel like, just to be super honest, if she doesn't add it to the set list at any point, it feels like she's not giving us the go, you know, or like, what's the word I'm trying to think of? It just feels like incomplete almost if she doesn't. Why would she release an album and not, you know what I mean, and then not perform it? It just feels incomplete to me. But then, like, thinking of that, I'm like, okay, well, when would she tour Tortured Poets? And, like, my guess is probably just, like, after the next album, even. Like, Tortured Poets, another album, and then tour the two of them together. So good point. She doesn't need individual tours to be successful. But to be fair, I don't know if Taylor does it because she needs it. You know what I mean? I think she does it because she loves it. And I think that's kind of shown in the way that her tour schedule lands, right? She doesn't need to tour. She's not going on tour Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, off Saturday, start again Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. You know, she is going on tour Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights, and then she's off usually Monday. You know what I mean? Like, she has a very privileged tour schedule, and she's earned it 120%. She's earned it, but she does have a very privileged tour schedule. Yeah. How could she top Rep Tour? Yeah, it's crazy. If you could take out 2 whole eras and replace with Debut and Tortured Poets, would you? I don't know. Because I haven't heard Tortured Poets yet, but I'm sure I'm going to love it. But then what era would I take out? I feel like you're setting me up to fail here. I love every era. I don't know. Do you need to pre-order every time she releases a new song? Well, that depends. So what she's released right now is the hard copies of those bonus tracks. So if you are not a vinyl collector, I wouldn't personally. Because those songs will be on streaming, or what I'm guessing is available to purchase on a digital download. And that's when I would watch and purchase them. But what she's released right now is like the physical vinyls, and each physical vinyl variant has a different bonus track on it. Yeah. When do you think we'll get Tortured Poets merch before or after release? Good question. And how did we do it for Midnights? We had some merch before Midnight's, didn't we? Because I feel like we're replicating the Midnight's release cycle at this point. So I'm maybe a little bit before. I really hope we get signed CDs this time. I really hope we get signed CDs this time. Please be the reason that Taylor's in LA right now is because she's signing copies. Please. Travis is in LA because Taylor's in LA. Hi, Alexandra. Yeah, just watch the website for signed CDs. They always go fast, for sure. Midnight's did not have a single drop before the album dropped, so I don't think that Tortured Poets will either. I think we knew that Antihero would be the single, correct me if I'm wrong, or we had suspicions that Antihero was the single, but she dropped, if I remember right, again, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, we got the Antihero music video at the same time the album dropped. Or like shortly after. I take it back. I know we knew that Antihero was the single because she put it on the manifest, the Midnight's Mayhem manifest, and she was like Antihero challenge or something, and then Antihero music video. It released that like hours or like very shortly after. What makes a song a single? Basically Taylor and her team. It's just the way it's categorized and awards it's available for. Yeah. What song from Tortured Poets am I most excited to hear? Down Bad. It's the most interesting to me because to me, it seems like it could be a love song. And the rest of them seem like they're heartbreak songs. So Down Bad has me intrigued. And Love of My Life. Although I do think Wondering If I Dodged a Bullet or Lost the Love of My Life is the lyric I'm attaching on to Love of My Life. So I can envision that being more of a heartbreak song than I can Down Bad. I'm having a hard time with Down Bad. I don't think resellers would stop her from doing any kind of merch, especially not signed CDs. Resellers existed when she did the Midnight's release, and she did 4 variants of the signed vinyl and 4 variants of the signed CDs. Also, by that logic, she'd stop touring because of resellers. You know what I mean? She can't control resellers on any of her merch. All she can do is make it affordable. I don't think we'll get a pic from the Oscars party. There was no pictures allowed. There was no cameras or social media, I think they said. The pictures we've gotten from Travis, I believe, are a different party. I'm so Down Bad in a sad way. Maybe that's possible for sure. I'm still just like most intrigued, I think, by that song because of the possibilities. Yeah, we're glad they got their privacy, for sure. I hope they get to just go on a nice vacay now. And enjoy. Just like sleeping. I haven't seen the interview with Harrison Butker yet. I don't like him. Sorry. So no, I haven't seen it yet. He was a good... Yeah, he's fine on the Chiefs, but I just don't like him. Sorry, guys. I'm going to be honest. I don't want to talk about why I don't like him. If you don't know why, you could probably figure it out. I didn't get to go to the game tonight, no. yeah, I was just dumb, and I forgot to, like, look back when the tickets went on sale, but I'm hoping to go to a game very soon. I was talking to my husband tonight, and he was like, yeah, let's buy tickets, so we just literally, like, couldn't. We just, like, haven't had a chance to look at them yet tonight, so. She could change up love of my life, what it stands for. I think that's possible. Very possible. Everything is possible with Taylor. He's an NFL contract away. Beckham? Oh, I like David Beckham. He's fine. He said, I hope they get married and start a family. Do I think we'll get any more info on Torture Poets before it's released or no? I kind of don't think we will. Yeah. I think she might have done something fun to, like, release the track list, like a Midnight's Mayhem with Me kind of moment. But the track list got leaked and that got ruined. So this is why you can't have nice things. I don't think she ever planned on doing a single. So I think we'll get the single on release night. I think she'll do Fallon and probably Graham Norton, but after the album comes out. Some press. Yeah, I think she'll do them after they come out. Same brainless. No, I think she plans on having a single. I don't think she'll release the single before she releases the album. Like, we won't hear it until the album comes out. I don't know if she'll even tell us what the single is, because I feel like she's been Easter egging what the single is instead of just coming out and saying it. But I feel like Fortnite, without a doubt, is going to be the single. Do I think her and Travis would ever do Fallon or SNL together? I don't. Do you think she has a Travis-inspired song on Tortured Poets Department? No. My reasoning is, let's go with the earliest date that Taylor and Travis started dating, which would have been around October or August. I'm sorry, August, like 27th or something, I think, was the date he was in New York. Taylor had an album release party on September 11th for Tortured Poets Department. So, you're talking about writing, like, first off, falling in love or whatever for those 2 weeks, and then her being so inspired by that to write a song that she records, produces, and puts together in time to make it on the album release, onto the album for the album release, or the album completion party or whatever. I just don't think it's possible, personally. I think Travis will be the next album. How do we know about the album? Not an album release party. It was like what's the word I'm trying to think of, you guys? It's an album wrap party. It was an album wrap party. They were photographed. And it came out like the next day that it was an album wrap party. Who all was there? That one woman from Blackpink was there. Cara Delevingne was there. Oh my God. Sadie Sink was there. And they were, I have a video on it because she was wearing that pleated gray academia skirt. Yes, Sabrina was there. Wearing a plaid skirt too, I believe. Everyone was dressed academia. And I was like, this is not Reputation, this is TS11, because they're wearing button-up, white collared button-up suits, white and black. Sabrina had on a fucking plaid skirt with a black top. Taylor had on a pleated, like, schoolgirl style gray skirt. It was all academia vibes. And this is, like, stuck in my brain because heard it was an album wrap party, and I was like, that's TS11. That's not Reputation. That's TS11, because the style was so clear to me. When you'd post that video, I don't know, but it's definitely in. I have a TS11 playlist, and that's definitely where it would be, in my TS11 playlist. I'll try to go through tomorrow and see if I can find it and repost it. But I know I have it because I've been talking about those gold nails forever too. Check out that TS11 playlist. If you go all the way to the bottom, like, I was talking about the braids, the knots, the golds, the gold nails, and just like the general academia vibe of her outfits since freaking I started making TikToks in August of last year. That album wrap party is like seared into my brain for those reasons. I loved it. This is when Jason was making fun of the hand holding. That's so funny. Do I think she's directing a movie after the Eras Tour? So that's an interesting thing to think about, because I don't know what details we know about the kind of movie she's directing. Do we know if it's the kind of movie that has a script, I guess, is the question I need to ask. Because if not, I feel like it could be a documentary on the Eras Tour that she's directing. Because duh. You know, like, she directs all of her music videos. They said she wrote a script when they announced it. Yeah, and that's what I'm curious about. Have they given us any details about the script? Because technically, right, if you have an intro with a voiceover and it's written, that's a script. You know what I'm saying? So how many details do we have about, like, what are the details we have? What are the details we have about a script? Because I do think, like, her doing some sort of, like, directing on, like, a full story type of movie would be very much in line with her, like, creative process. But I also think it would be a very, very natural next step for her to direct the documentary for the Eras Tour film and the documentary for her re-record process, you know? And I think especially the re-record process is a story that Taylor would want to tell herself as a director and not leave in the hands of someone else. So let me make myself, just to, like, be super clear, I do think we're going to get an Eras Tour doc and a re-record process documentary. I think either one is very possible for Taylor to be directing, maybe both. But I think it's for sure, like, she would direct her own re-record documentary. Like, I feel like that would be super important to her, to tell her own story. Hi, Liz. How are you? No, I did not get to go to the current game. I was just dumb and I forgot to buy tickets. I agree. A re-record doc would be after she releases Taylor's versions, for sure. Didn't she go out to dinner with Greta Gerwig? She did, yeah. I got this from Rally House. I can't answer that, Puff. I'm refusing to answer that. I want her to direct an action movie. I want her to star in an action movie. I think she'll do some interviews for Torture Poets, but I don't think we'll see her do very much. She just doesn't have to anymore, you know what I mean? She just doesn't have to. I do think that we'll see her become more active on socials again as Torture Poets gets closer. Just like she did for Midnights, just like she did for, like, Speak Now Taylor's version and 1989 Taylor's version. Just get really active on, like, TikTok and Instagram again. Because she's been laying low recently and she hasn't been posting much. But I think we'll see that, and then, you know, also her do a couple late night spots. Yeah, Adam, I don't think we're going to get an early single. I think she's just going to drop it with the album. Yeah, I think we're going to get it all on April 19th. And I hate it, but I also love it. I hate it, but I love it. Glad she's getting privacy, but we've been so spoiled. And between the tour and, like, also Chiefs games, we've been very, very spoiled. We were talking earlier that just, like, knowing Taylor would be in a public outing each week at the Chiefs game is, like, crazy. I do think we'll get merch. I kind of do think we'll get merch. Because we did for Midnights. We got, like, a ringer shirt and a bag. Yeah, you get to stream the album. I like to hear it, like, just to take it back to the single, getting a single on April 19th. I'm a listen from track 1 all the way through the way it was intended type of gal, you know? And so I like to kind of get the single in with the whole feel of the album. Yeah, exactly. Listening to the album in order. Yeah. It's, like, very pleasing to my brain that way. What albums have cardigans? Folklore has how many versions? 4. No Evermore cardigan. We have a Speak Now cardigan. We have a red Taylor's version cardigan and a 1989 Taylor's version cardigan. So by that logic, no, I don't think we're going to get one for Tortured Poets. Because we didn't get a Midnights one. She's only released them for Folklore and then for re-recorded albums. Sad. So yeah, we might get a Reputation cardigan, so that's dope. But I don't think that we'll get one. Yeah, no, we didn't get it for Fearless Taylor's version because Red is the favorite child. Red is the favorite child. I know, I need a Rep cardigan too. I'm obsessed with signed merch, and I think there's probably a good chance that we'll get some signed merch for Tortured Poets. But I'm just going to keep saying my little Swiftie baby prayers. No, Rep does not give so much cardigan, but to be fair, neither does 1989. You know what I mean? I want signed vinyl so bad. I want them. I just want all of the signed stuff. I would die if she did another version of the Rep, like, army green jacket. Hi. Hi, 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 hi. I would love an Eras live album. $19.89 is not a cardigan. She's a shimmery top girl. Yeah. So, like, these, like, signed merch from Taylor's store directly, I paid $20 for a signed CD. I think it was $19.89, actually. She was doing, like, the tricky thing. Yeah. They're not super expensive when you buy directly from her store. The cardigans became a thing during Folklore. And we've been asking for cardigans for every single album she's released since Folklore. She didn't give us cardigans for Evermore. She didn't give us cardigans for Midnights. But she did give us cardigans for Red Taylor's version, Speak Now Taylor's version, and 1989 Taylor's version. Do I think Taylor will go to a Casey Current game? I don't know. I hope that she would. I really do. Because it's so in her alley, you know, like just the first women's sports stadium in the world. You know what I mean? Like, it's so in her wheelhouse. But I don't know. I don't know. I hope so. I really hope she gets a chance to go. Especially because Brittany's a co-owner, like a part owner. She would be not just supporting women's sports, but like also Brittany, you know? Elbow patches. Like a tweed elbow patch on a Tortured Poets jacket. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like a bomber jacket or like a varsity style bomber jacket with like a patch on the elbow. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I did. I posted that video of Brittany and Travis, or Brittany and Patrick talking about Taylor going to the game. They said they were like, oh, we'll have to get her here. So here's to hoping. If anyone can, it's Brittany. I believe it for sure. You know what, guys? I committed to a short one tonight. I think I'm gonna go. I will be on tomorrow. I'm dedicating another day to like mostly like doing TikTok, because if you guys have been on my page recently or like were in my live earlier, this app has been like kind of suppressing my account lately. So if you don't follow me, please do. Like, I'm just like really in the trenches right now. If I pop up on your FYP, please interact with my stuff if you like it. I would super appreciate it. This happens sometimes on TikTok. They just like, accounts get hot and then they like let accounts get cold and they don't like push it. And so like, I'm just in like a cold spot. But yeah, that's all I can ask for is just interaction. And yeah, if you don't follow me yet, give me a follow, because I think I'm pretty fun. So can't wait for your reactions to the Love is Blind reunion. I know, we'll talk about it. We will talk about it. And if any of my subscribers are still in here, I'll probably have a subscribers video tomorrow on an update for the royal family. So, I know I'm totally out of my scope on that one, but I do like talking about it. So, yeah. Okay, I love you guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Yeah, come hang out tomorrow. Love you, bye.